God morgen alle sammen, og tusen takk for å bli invitert på konferansen. Og tusen takk for Bergen Næringsråd å sette opp et tema basert på inspirerende lederskap. For oss i DNVGL så er inspirerende lederskap noe som vi er veldig opptatt av. Og spesielt i år når vi er 150 år, så har vi brukt den anledningen til å se fremover. Og hvis vi ser litt stort på det, så ser vi at vi har vært gjennom 150 år med industrialisering som et stort prosjekt for verden. Og når vi ser fremover, så ser vi at det å skape en bærekraftig fremtid antageligvis er det aller største prosjektet vi skal i gang med de neste 50 år. Og det jeg vil dele litt med dere her i dag, det er de som har inspirert oss. De som har inspirert oss til å ta fatt på den reisen vi er i gang med. Og noen av de sitter her i salen, så av hensyn til de så vil jeg da gå over til engelsk. Men dere kan slappe av, det er ikke så stor forskjell. Altså... Verdens mest utbredte språk er jo broken English. And that's very close to Bergen English. So, anyway, so what we have done is basically throughout the last 1.5 years, talked with more than 200 people, thought leaders, young people, experienced people about one question. What is a safe and sustainable future? And we have got a lot of feedback. The most kind of complimentary of those feedbacks is collected in this book, which is available for all of you. So when we did this work, we also tried to make a kind of a synthesis by the end. So what are they really telling us? And when we worked with that, we saw that it is underlying all of these views on the future and underlying language of opportunities. And this is opportunities which is important for business to grab. So what I will do now, if I get this on, is that I will take you through 10 opportunities, and I will do that by introducing 10 people which all has inspired us for what we are embarking on. And I think being in the world of business, it is important to look at the challenges through finding a sustainable path through the lenses of opportunities. I think it is a lot of opportunities there. It's a lot of opportunities for Norwegian businesses to take bold position globally by working on the green shifts and the opportunities. First of all, opportunity one, we think it is a great opportunity to create a new narrative. Jessica Cham is a co-editor of a portal in Asia located in Singapore, and they spread a lot of good messages around what is working now. Solutions that works now. Good practices that work now about a cleaner, greener economy. And we will see also solutions presented later today here in the conference. Opportunity number two is really an economic opportunity, and business are used to calculate finance and economic. John Fullerton is a Wall Street financer for 20 years, director with JP Morgan. Basically, after 20 years, he founded his own institute, looking at a regenerative economy. And he went back to his textbooks, and the first thing you learn when you take your training as an economist is to calculate on externalities. And he really believed that a regenerative economy going forward, you need to take these externalities into account. And that will be part of the business of tomorrow. So we have a lot of good discussion with him about a regenerative circular economy. And this is really something which inspires us for our development work. Humans are part of the nature, not separate from it. Opportunity number 3 is to include young people. Alec Lors, when he was 16 years, he took US to court because in the Constitution of US it is said something that you have to leave that country in the hands of the next generation so they can take the country further. So he is now 19 years old. He is still working on his court case, and he's a great collaborator with us and a great voice of bringing young people to the table, because it's that generation that will deal with the consequences of the climate change. It's definitely, and I will say that twice to be sure, it's definitely an opportunity for business leadership. Business is sitting with capacity, competence, technology, and the ability to scale a lot of these solutions globally going forward. And Paul Polman, he is heading up a company called Unilever. He is also the chairman of World Business Council for Sustainable Development and sits in boards of many other organizations. And he has shown through his leadership in Unilever, by putting sustainability as the core of what they are doing, they create a big space for innovation and growth. It's definitely an opportunity for political leadership. And I'm glad we will have that debate also later here today. So John Aston has worked with many UK administration on climate change. And he also always emphasized that change never happens when it's driven by a sense of costs. It always happens when it is driven by opportunities. Jørgen Randers, I think most of you know. I mean, Jørgen, he wrote the book Limits to Growth in 1972. He wrote a new book 40 years later in 2004 about 2052. And we work a lot together with him. And he pinpointed that you need to find solutions that are attractive in the short term. You need to find solutions that are attractive in the short term because it is so much short-termism in human being. Technology, for a company like DNV, we believe a lot in technology. We think technology can do a lot in order to solve many of the challenges we are heading on. Jane is sitting in a utility company in Hong Kong with a large operation in China. We are very much inspired of what Jane is doing and what China is doing. And she's looking very carefully on how China is able not only to implement technology, but also to implement governance and regulations alongside the technology. And you all saw that now China and US have agreed on some bold targets for emissions. And I think that's a very important step going forward. We believe in a globalized world that it is really an opportunity to leverage on equality. And Grace Movara is one of the young sustainability leaders we have nominated in DNV GL. She really believes that education is the core of driving equality and sustainable development. And is working a lot on different platforms to bring intergenerational conversation to be happening. Again, bringing young people in. And I will encourage all of you who are running business to bring more young people into your decision making. They have different ideas, and we are in a transformation, so it's so important to get those fresh ideas into decision making in order to be competitive going forward. We believe it is, an opportunity to think local, even though we are a more and more globalized world, really to think local. Sarah Collins is an example of that. She has made hundreds and thousands of simple cooking devices that really change the lives of those who can use them. And she just see that it is so much opportunities to make an impact working on a local level. And last but not least, and that's also why we are in settings like this, it is a great opportunity to collaborate. My friend Baba Jain, which is here today, really emphasized the importance of bringing religious leaders as part of the conversation. Who are better of moving the masses than religious leaders? And if you really would like to see a transformation, you need to bring them in as part of the conversation because they have a great impact on people. And we are in some kind of a climate crisis. IPCCs are very clear in their report. So in this situation, it's definitely important to bring religion into that conversation. So this is basically some of the people who have inspired us. This is the 10 opportunities which we bring into our work and our strategy work going forward. And that's why we will also share that with you here today. I think many of these things are important to make competitive companies going forward. So with these words, thank you very much.